This tutorial is on placing cabinets. Knowing how to place cabinets is one of the most important functions within the ProKitchen program. Being able to place cabinets quickly and efficiently will help you maximize your time. Here we will cover the basics and the advanced cabinet placement features. I'm going to start with my walls already in place, and I'm going to start with the base cabinet, just a base corner cabinet. Now to place this cabinet, I've already got a cabinet line selected. You simply come down here to your base cabinets, click on your base cabinets, scroll down until we find the one that we want, in this case a corner base cabinet, and we click on our corner base cabinet and we find what we want out of here. Now you'll notice that the end of my descriptors are cut off, so I can use my slider bar to come over here and find the rest of my descriptor. I'm going to click on my corner base cabinet with Lazy Susan, and then I'm simply going to hold down my left mouse button. And as you notice, as I move my mouse over here, my cursor now has a little box with a plus sign in it and a little shaded box. That indicates I have something attached, something that I can place. I simply let off of my left mouse button, and here we've placed our first cabinet. Now there's other ways that I could go about finding this cabinet. If I know what my nomenclature is, and I do, I can use my find feature over here. I can simply come in and you click in there so you have your cursor and start typing in the nomenclature of the cabinet. When you get two letters in there or numbers, it'll pull up the full list of cabinets that have those two in it. If you want to refine that search, you can add the next one, and then you can simply drag it and place it from here. Now if I wanted to place something else but I didn't know what the nomenclature was, I can use something in the description of the cabinet. Let's say tray base, for instance. Type in tray base, hit enter, and it's going to pull up all of my tray bases. Makes it really quick and easy to find some of those difficult cabinets. Now I'm just going to place a couple more base cabinets, and I'm just going to use just basic standard base cabinets for this. We'll start with a base 36. Again, I just grab it, I bring it out over here, and I'm going to let it go. Now I haven't clicked, I just let go, so I can move this cabinet back and forth. I can also move this cabinet in and out. Now to do this, simply right click while you're moving your cabinet, and you can move it in and out. Now I've placed my cabinet. I can move my cabinet by selecting the drag, and this will allow me again to drag my cabinet back and forth on that placement zone. Let's say I want to switch walls with this cabinet. I can come in here and I can select move, and I can move it over and drop it on this wall over here. I can also, from my move, bring it out here and drop it in the middle of my layout. Now I'm going to move my cabinet back to the wall I started on. And you'll notice as I move my cabinet now, in my edit box here, I have not only a flashing cursor, which indicates that that edit box is available to be edited with, but it also gives me the dimension of where my cabinet is located along the wall. Now if I know, for instance, I want to place my cabinet 4 inches from the end of this wall, I can move my mouse very carefully and attempt to get 4 inches. It's a lot easier if I just use my edit box. Now you notice I do have the cursor up there. From my keyboard I can hit backspace, I can type in the dimension I want and hit enter, and it's going to place my cabinet exactly 4 inches from the end of this wall. This was the left end. I could have placed it 36 inches from the right end of the wall as well, just like this. I use my tab key to get down through there, type in 36, hit enter, and then we've placed it 36 inches from the end. But I do want to leave this at 4 inches, so I'll move it back there. I'm just going to grab another quick base cabinet and drop in. I'm going to use a base 42 for this. I'm going to place it right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of my base cabinets real quick. I'm going to take a base 15, place it in over here. I'm going to take a base 30, place it in off of here. Now I don't want it right on the end of the wall, so again I'm going to use my edit box. When I tab down, I want it 3 inches from the right. And now I've got those placed. Now I'm going to want to place a sink base in the middle. So to place that sink base, simply type in SB. If I know I want a sink base 36, there I've found my sink base, and I can drop it in place. And move it back into place, and double click so it stays. Now we can take a quick look at the rotate feature, and I'm going to grab my base 30 here and use it instead of placing a new cabinet. And first I'm going to move it off into the middle of my layout. Now to rotate this cabinet, I can place it, I can go back in, and I can select rotate, and then I can rotate around, and you'll notice that as I rotate, the back left corner of the cabinet is the rotate point. So we're only going to rotate from there because it gets a little confusing as to where the front of the cabinet is sometimes. But the back left corner is the one that's going to stay. Now you'll notice in my edit box that I have a cursor over there, which means, again, that I can change the feature over there. So in this case, if I want to type in my angle, I know my angle is going to be 90 degrees, and I can hit enter, and it puts it in at 90 degrees. And again, this is the front of my cabinet. The numbers are always on the front of the cabinet. Now the other way to rotate this is I can go back to move. I can click it out here and I have it moving. If I right click, just like we did with the in and the out and the drag, if I right click, I can go back into my move feature.